Welcome to the AI Lab by Optas.ai, where we explore how artificial intelligence is changing the way we work, create, and grow. This is episode 3, and today we're talking about AI chatbots for customer service and how small businesses are using them to save time, respond faster, and create better customer experiences. From answering common questions to helping teams stay available around the clock, AI chatbots are becoming a practical tool for businesses that want to work smarter without losing the human touch. Let's get into it.
So if you message a local boutique or, a specialized clinic at 2 o'clock in the morning tonight, there is a staggering 58% chance that the instant, perfectly polite, incredibly helpful response you get is generated entirely by a machine.
Yeah, which is kind of wild to think about.
Right, picture this. You are wide awake, staring at your phone, deciding if you want to buy this handmade ceramic mug, but you need to know if it's microwave safe.
Naturally.
So you type your question into the void, assuming you'll hear back from someone maybe next Tuesday. Instead, ping. Within milliseconds, you get, yes, it is microwave safe. Would you like a link to our matching plates?
And spoiler alert, you are not talking to a highly caffeinated insomniac business owner.
Exactly. Today, we are focusing on how Main Street businesses are quietly deploying these enterprise-grade language models to, completely eliminate their baseline customer service overhead.
Yeah, we are basically witnessing a massive democratization of compute power. What used to require a dedicated engineering team at a 6-figure budget is now just running in the background of your local coffee roaster's Shopify store.
And that is the exact transition we are unpacking today. We're doing a deep dive into a really comprehensive guide on how small businesses are actually deploying AI chatbots for customer service.
It's a fascinating shift.
It really is. The mission of this deep dive today is to demystify how this technology made that leap. We're going to extract the hard numbers, the exact rollout strategies, and the critical implementation pitfalls directly from our stack of source material.
Because it wasn't always this seamless.
No, not at all. We want to figure out how this transitioned from a clunky enterprise luxury to a totally accessible, essential daily tool for local shops. So if you're ready to see how the modern market operates behind the screen, okay, let's unpack this.
So before we can understand why small businesses are flocking to these tools, we really have to establish the mechanical difference between what consumers remember chatbots being and what they actually are today.
Oh man, the dark ages of chatbots.
Right. When a lot of people hear the word chatbot, they physically cringe. And that's because they are remembering those rigid, rule-based decision trees from 5 years ago.
Yes, the press 1 for shipping, press 2 for billing, loop of doom.
Exactly. Those older models relied entirely on exact keyword matching. So if you didn't type the precise phrase that the developer hard-coded into the system, the bot would just break down and throw a generic error message.
It was so frustrating. But the architecture small businesses are utilizing right now operates on a completely different paradigm, right? We're talking about natural language processing, or NLP, machine learning, and large language models.
Yeah, that trio is a core differentiator. So instead of scanning a sentence for a specific keyword, modern bots actually understand the intent behind the query.
Let's use that example from the source material to break that down. Say a customer fires off a quick message saying, I need to change my order.
Okay.
But another customer might type, can I swap what I bought? To a legacy keyword bot, those are completely different commands, right?
Oh, totally. A high probability of failure there. But through NLP, the AI instantly recognizes that both phrases, despite using entirely different words, mean the exact same thing. It recognizes the core intent.
And then the machine learning aspect comes in.
Yeah, the ML allows the bot to learn from past conversations. Every resolved ticket makes the underlying model slightly more adept at handling weird edge cases.
Wow. And the LLMs, the large language models.
That's the part that actually generates the text, like ChatGPT-powered tools. Instead of regurgitating a static robotic FAQ answer, the LLM creates a nuanced, natural response on the fly.
So I was trying to visualize this shift, and it feels like it's the difference between navigating a frustrating choose-your-own-adventure book where you keep hitting dead ends versus having a fluid conversation with a highly trained store clerk.
That is a perfect analogy. You're not just picking from a menu anymore. And what's fascinating here is that the most critical mechanical feature of these modern deployments isn't actually the AI reasoning itself.
Wait, really? What is it then?
Integrations. I mean, the raw intelligence is impressive, but a brilliant conversational bot operating in a vacuum is basically useless. The true power comes from connecting it directly to the business's existing infrastructure.
You mean like their software stack?
Right. Things like their customer relationship management software, like Salesforce, or their back-end e-commerce platform, like Shopify. It pulls real customer data to personalize the chat instantly.
Oh, so it doesn't just say shipping takes 3 days. It actually looks up your specific order and says your package arrives tomorrow at 4 p.m.
Exactly. That real-time data retrieval completely changes the game.
Okay, but this brings us to a huge crossroad. Now that we know the tech is finally intelligent and integrated, why is it suddenly ubiquitous among small businesses? Because, local shops notoriously run on super tight margins. They don't have developers on staff.
Yeah, it comes down to a massive shift in affordability and consumer expectations. Platforms are now offering this enterprise-grade infrastructure, starting at under $50 Canadian a month.
$50, that's it?
Sometimes even less. Some platforms like Zoho Sales IQ even have free tiers to start. And crucially, they utilize low-code or no-code visual builders.
Meaning you just drag and drop stuff on a screen, no coding required.
Precisely. And that accessibility is driving staggering metrics. According to 2024 data from Salesforce, 58% of businesses are now utilizing chatbots for support.
Over half. That's a huge tipping point.
And IBM's analysis shows these deployments are successfully handling up to 80% of routine customer queries. 80%. And because of that, average response times have plummeted from hours to under 1 minute.
Okay, I have to jump in here because, wait, so response times drop from hours to under a minute, but does faster actually mean better? Are customers genuinely happier talking to a machine, or are businesses just saving a buck at the customer's expense?
It's a fair pushback. But the source material actually counters that using 2024 data from Tidio. 64% of small businesses actually report higher customer satisfaction post-chatbot implementation.
Higher, not just the same, but higher.
Yeah, overall satisfaction jumps from roughly the 65 to 72% range, all the way up to 78 to 88%.
That is a massive jump. But why do people like it more? Just the speed.
Exactly. For the modern consumer, instant gratification and 24/7 resolution completely trump waiting 24 hours for a human to answer a simple question about shipping. If you want a tracking link at midnight, the bot gets it for you instantly.
Okay, yeah, that friction reduction makes a lot of sense. So numbers are great in theory, but to really grasp this shift, we need to see what it looks like on the ground, like for the types of businesses you interact with every single day.
Let's look at some specific examples from the text because they really make it memorable. There's a Toronto clothing boutique mentioned in the data.
Oh, right, the one with the return policy.
Yeah, they eliminated 40 to 60% of their incoming support tickets. And they didn't do anything crazy, they just set up a bot to instantly detect when someone was asking about a return, and the bot immediately linked them to the return policy.
Half of their daily email volume just vanished, just from serving one link instantly.
Right. And then you have service-based businesses like this Vancouver physio clinic. They reduced their inbound phone volume by 40%.
Just by using a bot.
By letting the bot handle end-to-end appointment scheduling. It's connected to their calendar so patients could book, reschedule, or cancel directly in the chat window.
Imagine how much time the front desk staff got back. They aren't just acting as human calendar routers anymore.
Exactly.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting, because our sources note that bots are completely blurring the line between defensive customer service and offensive lead generation.
Oh, the sales assistant model. This is huge.
Yeah, look at the Calgary marketing agency from the text. They use bots offensively. If you linger on their pricing page, the bot pops up, asks a few strategic qualifying questions, and collects your contact info.
It acts as an autonomous sales rep.
And if you're a hot lead, it pings a human on Slack immediately. If not, it drops you in an email sequence. And it does this all night long.
The after-hour support is a massive advantage. But also, we have to mention the Canadian-specific necessity highlighted in the research, multilingual support.
Oh, right. French and English.
Yeah, these modern LLMs can instantly detect the language of the incoming message and switch between English and French natively. You don't need a clunky translation plugin, and you don't need to specifically hire bilingual staff for every single shift.
It just automatically responds in whatever language the customer used. That is brilliant. But, I mean, It sounds like a magic bullet, right? Yet, the source explicitly warns that simply slapping AI onto a website is a recipe for disaster.
Oh, absolutely. It can go very wrong.
So let's look at the pitfalls. If we look at the common mistakes, we see exactly how implementations fail. What are the cardinal sins here?
The biggest one is deploying a generic bot without training it on your specific business data. If you just plug in an off-the-shelf LLM, it doesn't know your specific return window or your shipping rules. It will just confidently guess, which is terrible.
Right, the AI hallucinations. What else?
Over-automating sensitive issues. You do not want a bot handling a complex billing dispute or a really angry customer complaint.
Oh yeah, getting stuck arguing with a robot about a double charge would make me never shop there again.
Exactly. And the third cardinal sin is ignoring the performance analytics. The software literally tells you exactly where the bot is failing and where customers are dropping off, but you have to actually look at the dashboard.
And there are legal notes too, right? Like ethical guidelines.
Very strict ones. Platforms must comply with data privacy laws. In Canada, that's PIPEDA. If your bot is collecting emails or addresses, that data has to be secure. And honestly, it is best practice and sometimes legally required to transparently disclose to customers that they're talking to a bot.
Don't pretend it's a real person named Dave.
Right. It destroys trust instantly.
So how does a business avoid all that? The text outlines a 5-step rollout plan.
Yeah, a very structured approach.
That's step 1.
Identify your top 10 most common questions. Step 2, choose the right platform for your needs. Step 3, build and train the bot on your specific data.
And step 4 is the testing phase, right?
Yeah, testing edge cases. You have to try to break it before it goes live. And then step 5 is to monitor and improve it over time.
But where does a human fit into all this?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it really highlights the philosophical difference between chatbots and live chat. Chatbots shouldn't operate entirely alone. The most disastrous mistake a business can make is having no human escalation path.
Getting trapped in a bot loop. I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. Over and over.
It's the absolute worst. Customers get furious. The AI's job is simply to clear the 80% of repetitive noise, the tracking links, the basic FAQs.
So the human agents are well rested and available for the 20% of high-stakes, complex complaints.
Exactly. It's about filtering, not total replacement.
Okay, so if a business avoids those pitfalls, they execute the 5-step rollout perfectly. What is the actual financial payoff? We need to look at the bottom line and the actual tools they're using to get there.
Let's walk through the text's ROI breakdown, because the unit economics are pretty wild. Say a business is doing just 50 queries a week.
Pretty standard for a small shop.
Right. Historically, the cost per interaction, factoring in human labor, was somewhere between $6 and $12 CAD per ticket.
Because it takes time for a human to read it, look it up, type a reply.
Exactly. But with a bot, that cost drops down to between 25 cents and $1 per interaction.
Wow. From $12 down to a quarter.
Yeah. And in terms of time, this saves roughly 30 to 40 hours a month. If you value that labor at $20 an hour, that's $1,600 a month saved.
That is a massive 4x return on investment before even factoring in any new sales the bot might generate. And what platforms are they actually using in 2025 to do this?
The landscape is pretty specialized now. You've got Tidio, which is heavily favored for Shopify integration.
Okay.
Freshdesk is great if you already have a complex ticketing system. Intercom's the go-to for really advanced, nuanced LLMs. And ManyChat is huge for businesses that run mostly on Instagram and Facebook DMs.
Okay, so what does this all mean? I have to ask the uncomfortable question here. If a bot is saving a business 40 hours a week, does that mean the dedicated human support staffer just lost their job?
It's a really common fear, but the expert consensus in the text clarifies that a chatbot cannot fully replace a service team. What it does is scale the business without scaling the overhead.
Okay, so they keep their job, but the job changes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It changes the human's role from answering, "Where is my order?" 50 times a day, to actually handling relationship building and complex problem solving. It elevates their work.
Oh, that makes total sense. You let the machine do the robotic work so the humans can do the human work.
Precisely.
All right, to wrap up this deep dive, we've gone on quite a journey today. From those deeply frustrating, rule-based keyword bots of the past to these highly intelligent conversational AI models.
The evolution is just staggering.
It really is. And they're saving small businesses thousands of dollars, boosting customer satisfaction, and honestly completely leveling the playing field against massive corporations.
Because now the local bakery has the exact same 24/7 support capability as a global tech giant.
Exactly. So whether you are scaling your own side hustle, doing some consulting, or you just want to know how the sausage is made the next time you buy handmade candles online, understanding this automation is completely key to navigating the modern market.
This raises an important question, though.
What's that?
Well, the source mentions that these bots constantly learn from past interactions to improve, right?
Yeah, the machine learning aspect.
But think about what happens a few years down the line. What happens when a small business's AI chatbot has literally had tens of thousands more conversations with customers than the business owner ever has?
Yo, wow.
Right? Who actually owns the voice and the pulse of the customer in that scenario? The human founder who started the company, or the algorithmic bot that's been doing all the talking, gathering all the data at 3 o'clock in the morning while the founder sleeps?
Man, that is a wild thought to end on. If the bot knows your customers better than you do, who's really running the shop?
Something to mull over.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive, and we will catch you next time.
Thank you for listening to episode 3 of the AI Lab. We hope you enjoyed this conversation on AI chatbots for customer service and how small businesses are starting to use them in simple, effective ways. Please subscribe for more episodes, and we invite you to join our community of learners by signing up to receive your free resource guide. If you have any questions or feedback, please reach out to us at contact@optez.ai. Thanks again for listening, and we'll see you in the next episode of the AI Lab.